Good morning, everybody. Today's lecture is about the novels of Thomas Hardy. It includes a bit discussion about his novels. Before this, we had a list of Hardy's novels. Today, we are going to discuss one by one his novels in short. So, with the beginning of this lecture, Hardy's first novel, The Poor Man and the Lady, that was finished by 1867, failed to find a publisher. Means his first novel didn't find any publisher. He then sold it to his mentor and friend, the Victorian poet and the novelist George Meredith. Meredith felt that The Poor Man and the Lady would be too politically controversial, and might damage Hardy's ability to publish in the future. So Hardy followed his advice and he did not try further to publish it. Means his first novel, The Poor Man and the Lady, was never published. Hardy subsequently destroyed the manuscript of The Poor Man and the Lady, but he used some of the ideas in his later works. In his recollections in the life and work, Hardy described the book as socialistic, not to say revolutionary, yet not argumentatively so. After he abandoned his first novel, The Poor Man and the Lady, Hardy wrote two new ones that he hoped would have some more commercial appeal. These were Desperate Remedies 1871 and Under the Greenwood Tree 1872. Both of these novels were published anonymously. It was while working on the latter, means Under the Greenwood Tree, that he met Emma Gifford, who would become his wife. In 1873, A Pair of Blue Eyes, a novel drawing on Hardy's courtship of Emma, was published under his own name. A plot device popularized by Charles Dickens, the term cliffhanger is considered to have originated with the serialized version of A Pair of Blue Eyes, published in Tinsley's magazine between September 1872 and July 1873. And in this novel, A Pair of Blue Eyes, Henry Knight, which is one of the protagonists, is left literally hanging off a cliff. That is where and how the term cliffhanger originated. Elements of Hardy's fiction reflect the influence of the commercially successful sensation fiction of the 1860s, particularly the legal complications in the novels such as Desperate Remedies 1871, Far from the Madding Crowd 1874, and The Two on a Tower 1882. In the novel Far from the Madding Crowd, Hardy first introduced the idea of calling the region in the west of England where his novels are set, that is, Wessex. Wessex had been the name of an early Saxon kingdom in approximately the same part of England. The novel Far from the Madding Crowd was successful enough for Hardy to give up architectural work and pursue a literary career. After writing this novel, Far from the Madding Crowd, Thomas Hardy literally gave up his first work, that was architecture, and he pursued literary career. And over the next 25 years, Hardy produced 10 more novels. Subsequently, Hardy moved from London to Yeovil and then to Sturminster Newton, where he wrote The Return of the Native in 1878. In 1880, Hardy published his only historical novel, The Trumpet Major. This is a key point, and it is to be remembered that Hardy's only historical novel is The Trumpet Major, and it was published in 1880. A further move to Wimborne saw Hardy write Two on a Tower, published in 1882. And the novel Two on a Tower is a romance story set in the world of astronomy. Then in 1885, they moved for the last time to Maxgate, a house outside Dorchester, designed by Hardy and built by his brother. And at Maxgate, Thomas Hardy wrote The Mayor of Casterbridge, 1886, The Woodlanders, 1887, and The Tess of the Willis, and The Tess of the Willis, which attracted criticism for its sympathetic portrayal of a fallen woman, and initially it was refused publication. The subtitle of Tess of the Willis, A Pure Woman Faithfully Presented, was intended to raise the eyebrows of the Victorian middle classes. His next novel, The Jude the Obscure, published in 1895, met with an even stronger negative response from the Victorian public because Jude the Obscure had a controversial treatment of sex, religion, and marriage. Its apparent attack on the institution of marriage, it means Jude the Obscure's apparent attack on the institution of marriage caused strain on Hardy's already difficult marriage because Emma Hardy was concerned that Jude the Obscure would be read as autobiographical. Some booksellers sold the novel in brown paper bags. Means it was at that time people considered it a kind of banned material, so they sold it in brown paper bag means in a way that they were hiding while they were selling it. And while somehow the Bishop of Wakefield is reputed to have burned his copy. In his postscript of 1912, Hardy humorously referred to this incident as a part of the career of the book. After these hostile verdicts from the press, its next misfortune was to be burned by a bishop, probably in his despair at not being able to burn me. These are the words of Hardy. Despite this, Hardy had become a celebrity by the 1900s, but some argue that he gave up writing novels because of criticism of both Tess of the Willis and the Jude the Obscure. The well beloved first serialized in 1892 was published in 1897. So, friends, this was a discussion about Thomas Hardy's novel and some detailed study. So, we will meet in the next lecture with another aspect of another writer.